Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now the Bitcoin price is bouncing from this exact level of support, while this on-chain metric is breaking into new all-time highs. This is very important for all Bitcoin holders to pay attention to. So I'll be covering all of that and so much more later in this video. But first, let's take a quick look at the 12-hour Bitcoin chart. And obviously, the Bitcoin price has found some support around that 50% level. And this bounce in the Bitcoin price is also happening just after the 12-hour Bitcoin RSI entered into oversold territories just a couple days ago. But despite seeing this small bounce in the Bitcoin price, we have not confirmed another bullish reversal just yet, because the parabolic stop and reverse indicator is still sitting in the red. Also, if you're looking at the 12-hour Bitcoin RSI, we have not seen a breakout out of this short-term bearish trend, at least as of right now. And also in the 12-hour Bitcoin MACD, we have not seen another bullish cross just yet. But of course, it is only a matter of time before we eventually see some of these bullish signals again. And basically, once we start to see some more confirmation of these price oscillators reversing back to the upside, and perhaps the parabolic stop and reverse indicator flipping into the green again, those would be some of the signals that I'll be looking out for on the chart to help determine a possible bullish reversal on the 12-hour time frame in terms of these short-term bullish and bearish trends. And if you're zooming out to the daily time frame, the support line that Bitcoin is really bouncing from is this upwards trending line of support coming into play at around 39,000. And obviously, I've been talking about that exact line of support for a while now on the channel, even before we saw that bounce. So at the time of recording this video, the fact is, on the daily time frame, the Bitcoin price is still forming higher lows and higher highs. So technically speaking, over the past few months, we've actually been in an uptrend on the daily time frame when you're talking about the larger multi-month price structure. Now, obviously, in some of my recent Bitcoin update videos, I've been talking about the possibility of this being a possible bear flag, but that would require the Bitcoin price breaking below these important levels of support, which right now we haven't seen, at least just yet. But considering what I just said about the 12-hour Bitcoin chart, how we haven't yet confirmed another bullish reversal, in terms of these short-term bearish and bullish trends, it is still important for all Bitcoin holders to pay attention to these levels of support. First of all, at 39,000, and anything below 39,000, we have this range of support, which is actually the golden pocket here on the 12-hour time frame when you're drawing the Fibonacci retracement tool from the January low up to the recent high. And that is coming into play at around $37,000 to $38,000 per Bitcoin, which is right where these previous lows are coming into play, where we have already tested as support previously. But if you're taking a look at this important Bitcoin on-chain metric, this chart basically shows us the percent of Bitcoin supply that was last active over 1 year ago, and that is represented by this orange line. So basically, when this orange line is moving to the upside, that means there's a lot of accumulation happening, a lot of people holding Bitcoin for over 1 year. But then when we see this on-chain metric move back to the downside, that means there's a lot more people moving around their Bitcoin, and in most cases, it's longer-term holders starting to take some profits on that Bitcoin. And throughout history, this on-chain metric has been very accurate at predicting massive moves in the market. Basically, when the percent of Bitcoin supply last active over 1 year ago is moving to the downside, that means the Bitcoin price is approaching a major market top and getting ready for a bearish reversal. And we saw exactly this happen in 2013, and then we saw the bearish reversal in 2014. We also saw this happen again in 2017, and then we saw the bearish reversal in 2018. And more recently, we saw this on-chain metric move to the downside in late 2020, and then we flipped more bearish during the middle of 2021. So as you can see, this has been very accurate at predicting bearish price action. But then on the flip side, when this on-chain metric is moving to the upside, that means the Bitcoin price is approaching a major market bottom and getting ready for an extremely bullish move. And we saw exactly this happen back in 2015, leading up to the massive 2016 and 2017 bull run. We also saw this happen again in late 2018, leading up to that massive 2019 bullish run that took the Bitcoin price from around 3,000 up towards around 13,000. And then we saw this happen again in the first half of 2020, just before that massive bullish move in the second half of 2020, leading into the beginning of 2021. So as you can see, time and time again throughout Bitcoin's entire price history, this on-chain metric has been very accurate at predicting massive moves in the market, whether that is bullish or bearish. And obviously, you can see right here that this on-chain metric has been shooting to the upside ever since around December last year. So recently, there has been a massive accumulation in the Bitcoin market, which basically means there's been a lot of Bitcoin supply move into the hands of Bitcoin hodlers, the long-term holders of Bitcoin that are not selling their Bitcoin. And in fact, as I mentioned earlier, right now this on-chain metric is at an all-time high, which means the percent of Bitcoin supply that was last active over 1 year ago has never been higher than right now. And so basically what this important Bitcoin on-chain chart is predicting is a massive bullish move potentially later this year. Now, I want to make it clear that this is not predicting what the Bitcoin price will be tomorrow. This is not the short-term price action. This is talking about the much larger moves in the market that usually play out over at least multiple months, but in most cases, multiple years. And obviously, this is not just my opinion. This is literally what this important on-chain metric is telling us. According to Bitcoin's entire price history, you can simply take a look for yourself. And on top of that, if you're looking at the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, right now we are sitting in extreme fear. And historically speaking, some of Bitcoin's best buying opportunities have occurred when the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is sitting in extreme fear. And on the flip side, some of Bitcoin's best selling opportunities to take some profits on Bitcoin have occurred when the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is sitting at greed, or more importantly, extreme greed, which right now we're basically at the exact opposite. Now, I want to make it clear that that is not financial advice. That's just telling you what this indicator means for Bitcoin, historically speaking. But just giving you a quick update on the 3-day Bitcoin chart. Looking in the RSI, we still need to break above this massive line of resistance, which is coming in at around 56 to 57 in the 3-day Bitcoin RSI. But as of right now, this 3-day Bitcoin RSI is technically still in this uptrend because we are still forming higher lows and higher highs, which is of course bullish for the Bitcoin price, because the last time we saw that happen in the 3-day Bitcoin RSI was between around June last year up towards around October and November last year, which is where we started to reverse into a more bearish trend on the 3-day Bitcoin RSI. And just giving you a quick update on the US stock market today, this right here is the Nasdaq 100 index on the daily time frame. And so far today has been a green day at the time of recording this video, which is obviously good to see because this is exactly where the Nasdaq needed to bounce in order to potentially play out this inverse head and shoulders pattern. Now, obviously this pattern has not been confirmed just yet. I want to make that clear because in order to confirm this bullish pattern, we need to see the Nasdaq 100 index bounce up towards this neckline, which is sitting at around 15,300, and then we need to see a confirmed breakout above that neckline. So we definitely still have some work to do, but also keep in mind we have some gaps in the price back up here, sitting at around 14,700 to 14,800. And when you're talking about the stock market, these gaps in the price action almost always get filled, which is a good thing for the Nasdaq 100 index right now, because obviously this gap is to the upside, which means the Nasdaq is potentially in for a bit of a bounce here to come back up and fill that gap. And in case you are new to this channel, the reason why I'm covering the stock market is because the Bitcoin price and the stock market are very correlated a lot of the time. For example, over the past couple of weeks, we've seen a bit of a pullback in the stock market, just like how the Bitcoin price has seen a pullback over the past couple of weeks. But then if the stock market flips more bullish again, then it's very likely that crypto such as Bitcoin will start flipping more bullish again. So this is something important to pay attention to. And if you want to get extra updates on the Bitcoin price throughout the day, make sure to follow me over on my Twitter, and the link to my Twitter is in the description down below and also in the pinned comment. But anyway, if you got anything of value out of this video, please make sure to leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, you might as well subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. And before we click off, if you want to make more money in crypto, whether or not prices are going up or down, then these two videos popping up right here are definitely for you to watch because they can help you make that happen. But anyway, that is it for this update. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.